Good morning. It's early Sunday morning from Chicago. This is Phil Simborg. And yesterday we scheduled our normal Chicago Chouette, but a funny thing happened because several people were out of town. For the first few hours, we only had three players, myself, Herb Roman, and David Rockwell. And I suggested that rather than playing simple money games, it would be much more fun and interesting to play match play and play 5-point matches, 2 against 1, and rotate, and the two players would be a team and could consult fully. This is part of the reason that Herb Roman and I are practicing to play doubles together in Cyprus. And really, as most of you know, if you played any backgammon, match play is much more complex than money play, and I thought it would be much more interesting, and David and Herb agreed, and for the first few hours until someone else showed up and we switched to a money game, we really had fun with this, and we had lots of bets and lots of disagreements and took lots of pictures, and I'm going to share those with you now. You can see what you would do. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to tell you who did what wrong when somebody was wrong, because I don't want to make any of us look bad, but we all made some mistakes, and we did a lot of really great things too. And got a lot of them right. And of course, every time there was a bet, usually one of us was right. So it was fun, though. I will tell you when we all got it right, though. But so you have to look at the score. Pause the video if you like. There's 12 of them, so this will take a little bit. You can fast forward if you find any of the positions boring. Let's start with the first one. I always look at the score, and I use the away score. Stick taught me this a long time ago, that's all that really matters, and that's what I put it in my XG. You can right-click on your XG and show as absolute score or the away score. And even on my score sheets, I like to use the away score. So in this situation, this is a recube situation. Red holds the 2 cube and is losing 4 away, 3 away, and is redoubling possibly blue. Should red redouble? And if red redoubles, should blue take or pass? After you decide what's right, then I'll be happy to tell you what happened. Give it some thought. Pause the video if you like. I thought this was quite an interesting and complex cube situation myself. Okay, well, I was red, and I did redouble. David Rockwell, this is right before Herb came. We played a couple of matches ourselves because we got there early and played 5-point matches. And David Rockwell took this cube, and I really wasn't sure it was a take at all. And it's a big double, big take. We both got this right. I rolled a blank. I rolled 5-2 or something like that. David then proceeded to roll a 2-1 and made the 2-point, and then rolled a 6 on the next roll, and the rest is history. But what he rolled and how it turned out, again, we don't go by that. He had a very, very big take. I think this is good evidence of Stick's Law, which I teach when I teach prime versus prime cubes, that all normal prime versus primes are takes, and practically all primes are takes. Of course, at different match scores, you run into complications as far as the gammons, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of gammons here, and it turns out there's not. 9% and 11%, but at this score, it could really matter. But when the cube's on 4, you're not going to see gammons mattering at all. So that's the other thing that's important here. Anyway, congratulations to me and David for getting this one right. If you got it right, good for you. I think at the time I really wasn't sure that that this was a take. I thought blue was going to crack right away if he doesn't roll a 6, and of course he does have that possibility, and even if he cracks, he still has some game. That was David's point. He's still going to win the game sometimes, even if he cracks by holding the 3-point. Good play by David and me. Okay, number 2. Here again, we have a score 0-0 to 5. 5 away, 5 away. And red is on roll. Cube action. Should red double? If red doubles, would blue take or pass? What would you do? Well, I wasn't sure blue had a take, so I doubled. I use Woolsey's Law every time. And the player, and I don't know, I think it was David by himself, it may have been David and Herb in this situation, correctly took. So we got this one right. It actually was a pretty small double. And I'm not going to tell you the outcome because I think maybe there's some pictures coming up that might involve the same game. So at any rate, we got it right. It was a double and was a take. Actually a very small double, and I really wasn't that sure of the take. I really didn't like Blue's position here. Okay, let's take a look at the next one, number 3. This is Blue to play 2-2. Score is 4-away, 4-away, cube in the center, Blue to play 2-2. Anybody who doesn't make the first two twos to 23-21 is nuts. I'll help you. You've got to do this, of course. Now the question is, where's the next two? And if you see any part of your play that you think is pretty much going to be forced, you should always make that first and then look around if you're pretty confident. And there's little question you're not going to leave 4 checkers on the 2-point here. So where's your next two? Okay, this was played wrong over the board. And again, I'm not going to name names of who played it wrong, but the players involved moved all 4 up to the 21 point, which was really a blunder here. I've already put it into plus. Moving all 4 up is a 0.140 error. If it's 0.08 or higher, it's considered to be a blunder. The best plays are very, very close. Pretty much it's saying do anything but come off of there. Try to play a 2-4 back game, I guess, in this situation. 61 pips down in the race is marginal timing, but it might be enough timing to play this game. Coming all up is just pretty much giving up on this game. It's true that you get gammon less by about 6%, but you also are giving up about 8% wins. So coming up with all of them was the wrong play. Especially with the cube in the center, the gammons are not that terrible a situation. I wonder if it would be better with the cube turn. Let's pretend that Blue had the cube for just a second. Coming up with 4 might not be as bad. Yeah, it's a little bit less bad, but still not good. Okay, let's go on. Number 4. This is after they made that play, and now it's Blue on roll cube action. Should Blue double at 1 away, at 4 away, 4 away, and if Blue double, should Red take or pass? Think about what you would do. Pause the video if you like. Then I'll spoil it by telling you the answer. By the way, we settle all of our bets using plus. We don't bother to roll them out. It just takes too long. Although we will roll them out sometimes if it's close, just because we're curious. This was a big double and a big take, and that's what happened over the board. So maybe coming up with all 4 wasn't so bad the way it worked out. But big double, big take. Okay, moving on. Number 5. Yes. How we got this far without a cube is beyond me. This doesn't happen that much with the players that we had there, but we got to this position with no cube so far. Red on roll, 5 away, 5 away. Should Red double? Should Blue take or pass? We tried Ward, Matusik, Trice, Eyesight, EPC, rolls versus rolls, and we came up with the right decision. I was Red and I doubled, and David and Herb together took. Big double, big take. So whichever methods we were using came out right. It was a good double and a good take, and you know, usually it's a little hard to double when the pip count's exactly even, 23-23, but I guess being on roll has a little advantage, isn't it? So that was the reason for my double, and they still felt they had a take, and they were right. I could do some more missing here. Okay, let's move on. Number 6. This is another cube action problem. 5 away, 5 away. This time Blue is on roll. should blue double? In a blue double, should red take or pass? Without naming names, I will tell you that this cube action was handled incorrectly by one of the teams or individuals. Would you double if you were blue? Well, blue doubled and red took, and it's a big pass. Red needed to be anchored here. It's just too easy to get blitzed. You just don't have enough going for you. Lately I've been using, as David Presser recommended and has been showing me the advantages in some positions of using Pratt, position, race, and threats. And red is clearly a worse position, clearly worse in the race, and clearly worse in threats. You score 3 zeros or 3 points for the other side, and you've got to pass. Okay, I won't say again who got it wrong and who got it right. Next, number 7. This is, well, the situation is shown that red is 3 away and blue is 5 away, and red has a 5-3 to play here. Again, I will say that whoever played this wrong. What would you do with a 5-3? I'll advise you not to use move the back checkers. We played legal moves, so he can't hit with a 5-3. Okay, well, the play that was made over the board was slotting the 5 point, and the right play is to hit. It's very scary to hit here, but what is your game plan? How are you going to win this game? You're going to have to play a hitting game, get into a back game. You got to keep blue from making the bar here and give him his full roll. That's all the logic behind it, and slotting the 5 point was a blunder. And I can understand the fear of getting gammoned here when you're leading in the match, but that's probably what happens to a lot of people, including us. When you're leading in a match, you tend to be a little bit too conservative, too much afraid of getting gammoned, and as again, I'm going to quote Stick, the DMP play is usually the right play, and this is the DMP play. Winning the game, you know, you can't get gammon games that you win, so just by winning more games, you're going to get gammon less. So hitting is right here, and if you don't get hit back, maybe you can move forward, maybe you can pick up another blot. You know, he dances 25% of the time, so you need to take action here. Okay, number 8. Spoiler, I showed the answer. Wow, I'm sorry I did that. I forgot to wipe out the answer on this one. But this was a very, very interesting position because David Rockwell was blue and he was too good to double and going for the gammon. We got lucky. Herb and I got lucky, hit a shot, and started playing some containment. And after several moves, this is about 7 or 8 moves after we hit him, including his coming out and we're hitting him again, David was smart enough to say, okay, maybe I'm not too good anymore, I should double, and he did. And we took, and I can't tell you that we were all positive this was a take. We talked about it, and it's a huge take. I won't tell you what happened. Yeah, I'll tell you what happened. Herb and I ended up winning. We ended up beating David. This is a pretty bad beat for David, who was too good to double at one point. We recubed at the appropriate time and got a pass and won that way. The appropriate time, by the way, he has 6 checkers off, is after we have 2 checkers off. He's still on the bar, and we have got a reasonably good bear off. And we didn't get to a reasonably good bear off. We ended up with more checkers off, having to wait, and then we doubled him when it was a clear pass. Okay, let's go to the next one. Sorry, that was a spoiler there, but it's still a very interesting position. Okay, this is 2 away, 4 away, which is an interesting score with blue 2 away and red 4 away, and blue to play 3-2. And I will say again that whoever was blue got this one wrong over the board. There are some ways to play safe. There are some ways to hit 2. And those were all considered. And the wrong decision was made. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you that it's wrong to play safe, that you must hit 2. Now the question is, which 2 do you hit? You can hit here and here, or you can hit both inside. Over the board, it was played safe, which was a real blunder. Hitting 2 is best, and one of those 2 hitting plays is much better than the other. And I will tell you that when we talked about which were the better hitting plays, Herb got this one right as far as which one is better to hit 2. Okay, it's best to hit the 2 inside, partially because you're unstacking and you're stopping him from anchoring, and that's the right play. Hitting 2 inside by a lot over the other hitting 2 play, and of course playing safe was one of the biggest blunders made during the day. And I won't say again who made it, but we all make these mistakes, and we're all decent players. Herb and David and I have, I guess we all haven't won tournaments after all. Herb is, I've always said, is the best player in the world with his experience that hasn't won a major tournament. He's just had bad luck on Sundays. But his PRs prove that he's up there with lots and lots of people, and better than most people who play tournaments. I'd like to see Herb do the BMAB. I bet you he would be a Grandmaster level 3 or 4 if he did it. He's that good. Okay, let's take a look at number 10. And this is 5 away, 5 away. Red on roll cube action. The proper cube action was made here, but I have to tell you that I wasn't sure. In fact, I disagreed. I would have been wrong had I been on the other side of this. Would you double if you were red at 5 away, 5 away? Would you take if you were blue? Okay. The answer is it's a double and a take, only a very small double. I didn't think it was a double at all, and I'm not embarrassed to say I was wrong by .022. And I'm very proud of my companions for getting this one right, because I really didn't think it was there yet. But it's a small double, and again, this is the kind of thing you probably should roll out to be sure. Plus plus is the best evaluation you can get without a rollout. Okay, 2 more. Number 11. Red to play double 5. It's 4 away, 4 away. Oh, I can brag about this one. I want to bet against somebody on this one. But it wasn't huge. I just barely won the bet. I got it right over the board. I played it right over the board, and I was bet, and I won. The bets are more fun to us than the best of the arguments are more fun than playing and winning the match. So how would you play double 5? Okay, the wrong play, and what the other person said, is to make the 5 point, which we all agree is right. You make the 5 point, and then you look for the other 2. Well, let's do this. Make the 5 point. The other 2 is pretty obvious. You either hit or run. Which one do you think is right? Okay, I hit and I was right. I like having that stronger inner board and not stranding the back checker. And it's not huge, but the way we bet is if plus plus says .02 or more, you win the bet. So I won the bet by .005. So it's not that big a deal, but it was enough for me to pocket some change, which I like. And by the way, we love betting and arguing each position. It's almost like playing challenge gammon where you challenge every single play. It really keeps you sharp. I think we all walked away yesterday learning a lot, and I'm only showing you 12 positions that I think were the most interesting. I have at least another 12 where everybody was right, and even though we argued about it, we all got it right, and it wasn't that big, or several of them were so trivial, the difference between right and wrong was so small, I didn't bother to show it to you here. But we had a lot more discussions than these 12 you saw. That's what makes this game so exciting and fun for us. People who say the game is now automatic because of the bots are very, very wrong. There's still plenty of play between really good players, and I consider the three of us to be good players. And even if we had falafel and mochi and michi there, I would say that there would be still plenty of discussion and plenty of mistakes on some of these positions as well. Okay, let's go to the last one, number 12. The score is 4 away, 5 away. Red is winning 4 away, 5 away. And red is on roll, and should red double? If red doubles, should blue take or pass? This is another bet that I won. And by the way, I lost a couple bets too, so I'm not going to be bragging that I was always right. I think I won 2 and lost 2. But I got this one right. Okay, this is a double, and you got the double here because you got to be afraid whether or not blue should even have a take. And I bet that it was a double at a pass, and the other player who bet against me bet it was a take, saying he didn't think there were that many gammons here. And of course, if you roll a 2, there are that many gammons, and if you make this point, there could be that many gammons as well. So how do you play a 2? Yeah, well, that's it. We know how to play double 2, but let's say you roll a 2-5. That's another interesting thing. Let's say that blue has the cube, and you roll a 2-5. Are you hitting, or are you making the point? What would you do? Is there a 2 that you don't hit with? Ha! Look at this. Hitting twice is very, very close. You can't blame me for asking the question because it's really, really close as to which play you make. But 9761, look at .013. This is tough. 2-1 is easy. You hit and cover. 2-3. Okay, you don't hit. 2-4. I would think you don't hit. 2-5 we talked about. 2-6. There's an interesting roll. Hit 2. Wow. Wow. I don't know. I would have hit 2. Not a terrible play, but wrong. .032. I would go for the gusto here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoy looking at match play. If you're a money player and you are not ever playing in tournaments or match play, you're really missing out on something. It's a much, much more complex and interesting game, at least to me, than money play. To me, the thing that makes money play fun is the camaraderie and the fun of a chouette. Heads-up money play bores the hell out of me, although it still can be interesting if you're playing for big enough stakes. Then it's just like poker. Poker's got to be the most boring game in the world if you're not playing for anything. And if you're playing for something, it can be very exciting. But with match play, I can play match play for nothing. And just for the intellectual excitement of it, and that's what we teach to kids. That's why I'm teaching kids backgammon. I'm not teaching them money play. I'm teaching them how to play match play. You don't have to have any money involved and be a very, very exciting intellectual game, just like chess or Scrabble or any other intellectual game, because it's so complex and it's so much more fun. A money game without money isn't much of a game, in my opinion, compared to match play. So give match play a chance. If you live in a country that doesn't use the doubling cube, you're also missing out on a lot in this game. If you're playing tavla, tavla's fun. I've played tavla many times with many of my friends from the Middle East, but learn the doubling cube and you added another very exciting dimension to this game. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, you can post them below this video and I'll try to answer them. I really want to thank my partners, Herb and David, for going along with my suggestion to play match play. When it was all over, we all agreed it was much more fun and much more interesting than playing Chouette if you only have 3 players. As soon as you get 4, 5, 6 players, we're happy to go back to our Chouette. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in Cyprus at our boot camp, Mochi, Michi, and I, and Dennis Culpepper and Ben Friesen. And we'll be in Cyprus and in Las Vegas giving boot camps and mini boot camps in New York and Washington, D.C. So we'll get into all of these aspects of the game much more deeply with some of the top players and teachers in the world. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.